Next up at UFC 284, we have Shane Young taking on Blake Bilder. Shane Young is 13-6 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. Coming off a year away. It was about a year away from the cage.
I think it's a year and a half, honestly. It was March of 2021, so almost 2 years, honestly.
Yeah, so he's been out for a while.
But yeah, sorry.
He's heading back. He's taking on Blake Bilder, who's 7-0 overall. He's making his official UFC debut after a successful Contender Series outing. Blake is an aggressive grappler. He's going to shoot the second he gets an opportunity. He's going to control you from there. He explodes on the ground, but what's really nice about him is he's not taking unnecessary risks. He's not going to chase his submission and then lose the whole thing because he dove for something or tried to go for a guillotine that wasn't there. But he will, when there's an opportunity to pass or sweep, he'll just boom, and he'll give it everything. So he's pretty explosive on the ground. Shane Young's a solid striker. He's out of that city kickboxing gym with Izzy and the rest of that crew. He does like to work forward. He's got a jab that he manages range with, and he controls the center. He's constantly pumping that jab out, constantly. And he doesn't really have that one-punch knockout power, but he does a nice job stringing together combinations. I like Blake Bilder in this fight. I feel like Shane, he's been out for a while. He hasn't won in years. Literally hasn't won a fight in over 2 years. And this just feels like he's on this card because it's a local card. I've used this analogy a few times, including my quick picks. It almost feels like when Al Iaquinta fought at MSG, he basically was done with MMA. But it was MSG, so he took the fight, and then Bobby Green knocked him out, and then that was it.
Oh, and who said that Bobby Green was going to knock him out? Bobby Green had a finish and whatever. Al Iaquinta hadn't been finishing whatever, and I told you guys Bobby Green was going to knock that dude out.
Congratulations on all your success. I think Blake Bilder wins this fight. I think he can get the grappling going, avoid that just nonstop jab. As I mentioned, Shane can get his hands going. He's got great combination, but he doesn't really have that knockout power. He's not as dangerous. If Blake can't get the takedowns, he's in trouble, but I think he will. And you can see that Shane opened as a favorite, minus 130. He's even little larger favorite, just slightly. So not much movement here, but I'm on the Blake Bilder side. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's we see the fight a little bit differently, but we came out with the same outcome. Shane Young is the better striker in this matchup. I don't think there's a question behind that. Is he a much better striker? We'll see if a year and a half layoff, he's tightened some things up. Because even when he's striking, you did mention the jab, but as far as combinations and in and out movement and stuff, it almost seems like he's a little unconfident in his striking. Because what he loves, and obviously he's a wrestler at heart, but he loves the clinch positions, right? He loves to just kind of push people back to the cage, and then he'll dive in, get in those clinch positions, and maybe not necessarily go for takedowns, but he likes holding people in clinch positions. That's where it seems like he feels most comfortable. And he has good control in those positions, and that's usually how he can win fights, is kind of control people and do what he needs to do to get takedowns after that. The issue is, this dude Blake, you don't want his hands on you at all. I mean, at all, because he is such a good wrestler, and he's so good a grappler in general, and he's so good at getting positions. I think there was one fight where he just grabbed somebody's left arm and swung his body like the guy was putting on a backpack, like a Blake backpack, and all of a sudden he had his back. And as you mentioned, once he gets on top of people, his control is incredible. And not only is it control to where it's some people can have good control, but they're not doing anything while they have control. He is looking for submissions, looking for this, looking for that, and keeping control the entire time. If this fight goes to the ground, Shane Young is in big, big trouble, even if he's on top, because he's a strong dude with good sweeps as well. Shane Young needs to keep this fight standing, no clinch positions. I don't think that he's comfortable enough, and Blake will get in his face. I think he initiates clinches. Bilder gets a sweep or a takedown of his own, and then it's bad news for Shane Young. So I'm actually pretty confident in Blake in this matchup, but we'll see how Shane, a year and a half, you don't know if somebody's going to go really, really good or be the same or be really, really bad. So layoffs are always pretty tricky.
No, I agree. And like I said, this feels like a disingenuous comeback. If this card was not in Australia, is Shane Young on a fight card right now? I don't think so. So, I'm on the Blake side. This is one of the closest fights on the entire card, though. So that'll be interesting. DraftKings, 8,300 to 7,900. I think you have to fade Shane Young in DraftKings because it's just going to be a million jabs. There's not going to be a knockdown. There's not going to be a knockout. He's all pump. So there's going to be a lot of the volume will be high. The volume will be high, but the scoring will not be, even if he wins. Where Blake, there is some upside there. He should get a takedown. He could get the finish. And he can really make something happen on top. So
he seems like a tough kid too. Tough kid. Not one of those because we kind of steer away from kind of the jiu-jitsu nerd sometimes, and Blake is more of that grappler than like a dominant wrestler, but he seems like a pretty tough kid.
Yeah, no, and he comes forward, he tries to make it happen, right? He's not butt scooting and rolling
and those
for
guys
ankles.
make me sick. Yeah, make me sick.
I hear you. So we're both on the Blake Builder side. DraftKings, I would lean towards Blake Builder. I don't have him in the lineup that I've made so far, but I would lean that side here. If you guys are building DraftKings lineups, give our optimizer a shot. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a tool. It has every single fighter. It is pre-loaded on Friday afternoons with projected scoring, projected ownership, and a bunch of other data. You then click a couple of buttons, right? What fighter you definitely don't want in your lineup if there is one. What fighter you definitely do want in your lineup if there is one. You click a few buttons and it will build lineups for you. It'll build your lineups for you. It'll build one. It'll build 150. And you use that data, you enter a bunch of tournaments, hopefully you win some money. And these big cards, the numbered UFCs, oh, I see that, holy shit. The numbered UFCs are where you can make some real money because there's a lot of casuals popping out and playing DraftKings. WeWantPicks.com, at the top of the clip, become a member and you will get full access to the optimizer. And we have a tremendous donation from I0. I0 with the $100 super chat said 1 unit on We Want Picks being the most profitable channel this week. I've been tailing the premium bets so far, and there's some pocket change.
Oh my God,
fellas.
can you even read?
I read that wrong. I've been tailing the premium bets, so here's some pocket change, fellas. I'll be back to being active in due time. 10 plus units net this week. Easy money. Thank you very, very much, I0. That is incredibly appreciated.
What he's doing, and I'll tell you right now, I mean, he obviously doesn't care about you. He's actually just trying to buy my love back. I think that he heard about our relationship, and because he hasn't been around. And I0, this is what happens when you're not around for somebody. They start looking elsewhere. And I, landed my eyes on this big guy right here.
Well, thank you very much, I0. It is
Is that
genuinely
your plan now to just act like it's just ignore it all?
It's pointless. You're like a child, and what am I going to do? I'm not going to act
thought
like
about adopting.
I'm not going to
act last night.
I'm not going to act like some weird homophobe and make this a thing. I'm not going to play into it, so I just literally have to ignore it and move on. Then we have a $5 super chat. Sorry, Brandon, not to, $5 super chat is incredible. So it's a hard act to follow behind I0, but this is incredible. Thank you very much. He said, "What's happening, fellas? You guys are scorching it with your betting picks. I'm along for the ride." Guys, both of you, thank you very much because you used the super chats to talk about how well our bets have done for you in premium. So thank you both very, very much. Premium has been a resounding success for us
to advertise
and you.
It's incredible. And I0, I do appreciate it.
It's very appreciated. Yeah, it's very appreciated. And we're glad to listen. We keep the price point. We keep the price at $10 a month because anybody in this space. And we're out here giving you insight and the best possible picks and bets that we can. And we're giving you genuine.
We do the work so you don't have to.
We're giving you genuine net profit every week in and week out. But this is MMA. And I fully recognize that you can bet on what should be a short thing and somebody gets hit in the face and that's it. It's MMA. So people out there charging $60 per event, $60 a month, people charging those astronomical numbers for their bets. Not in this sport. You want to do that for football, basketball, where it's 50 years of data can go into that? Sure. But this is a whole different world. We've been giving you a ton of profit. So, it's incredible when you guys share it back.